So to have an Avenger, this huge aircraft, you have to have a facility, and the Avenger is purchased separately. It doesn't come with a facility. You would buy it on war stock, cash and carry. I forget exactly how much this is, but we're talking millions, so it's not something you just buy after a week or two. You can have gun turrets, a vehicle workshop, and a weapons workshop inside the Avenger. And of course, it's a helicopter and a plane. So, quick look inside the Avenger. Initially, I'm going to go straight up front, but I can go into the workshop to upgrade the Avenger itself, because I have a workshop with the facility for certain things. I'm not going to change my setup there. I'm going to exit the facility. So this is the Avenger. It starts off, if you come straight from the facility like this, you can also call it in elsewhere on the map. And it's hard to judge the size of this thing from this picture, because of course they have to shrink it down to have it in your field of view, but it is huge. You can change from vertical takeoff and landing to forward flying, and I can also pull up the landing gear to go a bit faster. Hard to see how fast you're actually going in this thing because of the way they've arranged the cockpit. See if we can do it with a mouse. Well, it looks like it's going pretty fast. I'm reading over 140 there. So it's pretty fast. But it's also enormous, and therefore, even though it's got vertical takeoff and landing, it's not the most useful thing for getting around the map with. I certainly wouldn't choose this if I'm trying to dodge in and out, say doing a sightseer mission. Why would I do it in an Avenger? I mean, I could, but it would take forever. And another thing you can do in the Avenger is engage the autopilot. Now the Avenger's flying itself, and whether I've got friends with me or not, I can go into the back of the aircraft here. It's still flying there, and I have here 3 cannons that I can use to shoot at stuff. And I can switch quickly from one cannon to another. This is different cannon, different cannon. I think this one is underneath the aircraft, yes. So probably the most useful. Oh, it's the rear turret. This is the top turret. Great if you're being attacked from above. And this is the front turret, which is on the nose of the aircraft, on the chin of the aircraft, so not a bad location also. So the top one is probably the least useful of the 3 if you were trying to defend yourself against people attacking you. Now you can zoom in with these cannons, as you can see quite a lot. And that gives you an idea of shooting at people. Some of these cars are kind of glitching out. But probably not the most effective thing. Maybe if it went straight below me. Anyone down here? What happens if this guy stops at the traffic lights? No. So just to show, you can actually blow things up with these cannons, but I'm on a moving aircraft, so it's not the easiest. So in terms of trying to attack other players, would you bother? Probably not. In terms of completing missions, would this be effective? Probably not. Also, the police noticed and weren't impressed with me blowing things up. So I got a star. 1 star isn't going to get helicopters after me, so that doesn't really matter. So you see 3 different turret stations here. And there's also this space at the back of the aircraft where you can bring a vehicle with you. So again, I could bring one of my weaponized vehicles, and only certain vehicles will go in here, by the way, not everything will go in here. Park it in the back there and use it in a mission? Yeah, not really very effective. You might as well just take the vehicle itself. You can use the weapons workshop to upgrade vehicles, upgrade weapons if you already have the weapons research done. Of course, if you've done the weapons research, you've probably got one of these weapon stations in your bunker, so there's no real need to come here to do it. I suppose if you were the sort of person who's going to fly around in an Avenger attacking other people, maybe. There's a wardrobe. You can change clothes. It says wardrobe on the door. There's also a weapons customizing station. And I might change my custom loadout because I had hidden the upper atomizer and I want it back. Other things like the SNS. The AP pistol is really the only one I want. I'm even going to get rid of that. Get rid of combat pistol. AP pistol, flare gun, because you need the flare gun occasionally. Well, actually, you don't even really need the flare gun all that often. An upper atomizer, just have those 2. Machine guns. Just the micro SMG. I think I'm going to hide the micro SMG because it pops up when I don't want it. Rifles, only really use the special carbine. Sniper rifles, I use all of those sometimes. Don't really use most of these. And I don't really use most of these. I'm not a particularly aggressive player towards other players, so I'm not looking out for things I can kill other people with, only for things I can complete game missions with. So back in the cockpit, I wasn't trying to evade the police there, they just got lost because 1 star, they're looking for me on the ground even though I'm not on the ground. And you've got to go back to services to come out of autopilot and then I can fly. Oh, it said press E to open bomb bay doors. The doors open? I don't see anything happen. Hold E. Okay. So I can also do carpet bombing if I really have to. I think with bombs you're limited to 50 and then you have to replenish. Again, bombing, it's tricky. I've never found it to be the most useful thing in the world. So I don't really bother with it. But just be aware you can put bombs on your Avenger if you absolutely have to. Okay, I'm going to land this and take a vehicle into it to show you how that works, and then that'll be the end of the Avenger review. It's one of those things that, again, it's nice to have, totally unnecessary. I would not make it a priority purchase. Once you've got one, you may find you barely use it. And it's not a cheap item. Especially since you have to have the facility first. You will get a discount on it once you've completed certain missions. I think that once you've completed that whole Bogdan Doomsday heist, the second of the 3, you'll get some discount on this. Sometimes they go on sale. So probably you want to wait till you've either completed the heist or it's on sale or both before you buy it, unless you're making money very fast and really don't care. Okay. We landed on the beach, and I'm going to call in a weaponized vehicle. So a little bit overly bright on my phone, I don't know why. Mechanic.
What you need, boss? Some
And
wheels?
so all my
I can
weaponized
bring
stuff
'em
is at the
around.
wind farm facility. It's got facility in the name, so whichever one you have, it's going to say facility. Let's bring in the Insurgent.
I'll bring it to you.
Not all of these vehicles I have parked there, by the way, will go inside the Avenger, but I know the Insurgent does. So this is my Insurgent, and I think there's nothing stopping you buying multiple Insurgents, by the way, but really, why would you need more than one? And to upgrade it or change anything on it, you need to park either behind the Avenger, or you can use your MOC, Mobile Operations Center, if you have one. And here this is inside the Avenger. So I could now fly the Avenger off with this inside and park up somewhere, or just fly the Avenger in the air, drop out with the Insurgent. But it's not really a useful thing to do, so I've never bothered. And while I'm inside the Insurgent, inside the Avenger, I can, I hope, access the vehicle workshop. Maybe I can't, because I'm not inside my facility. I thought I could. Well, nothing's happening, so that suggests to me that wherever I'm parked isn't Insurgent friendly. So I think what I'm going to do instead is just get out, send this back to base, and do something more useful with my time. Oh, here's the door. So you can call in the Avenger from various places on the map. I'm now going to send it back to base. It's under Services, Avenger, Return to Storage, and it will vanish. It's one of those things. You can have it. Do you need one? No, you don't need one. You will need either this or the MOC to upgrade your weaponized vehicles, but the MOC you probably already have. It's cheaper. The only real advantage with the Avenger is it flies. I don't know if that's really a useful advantage. And I noticed, although I sent the Avenger back, it left my Insurgent behind. So even when I sent it back to base, it didn't clear everything up for me. Okay, I'm now going to go and review the thruster for you. Let's see if I've got... Yes. So now on my job list it says continue the Bogdan problem, which was the heist that I had partway done. I can use that to teleport back to my facility. And it's going to take it time to do it. So the one thing with the facility, it gives you a second location to teleport back to. This one I don't have to, for some reason, back out of the heist, because I'm not actually in the heist, I'm just in the heist room. So I can just walk away from it. With the heist in the apartment, I always have to quit the heist because it thinks I've gone straight into start a heist. So you've had an overview of the facility and an overview of the Avenger, and I'm now going to look at the thruster. Which you have to have the facility for because it parks up there, and only up there.